Hello, this is Greg from Mystery Honey. Seems like the spring flow has actually stopped. It's a lot earlier than I was expecting, randomly, because it was so full last week, and then now there's just barely any bees flying about whatsoever. That to me means that the flow has dropped off. Queen rearing is my main aim of the game at the moment, so what I want to do is produce some lovely, juicy queens and produce nukes for them to go in so they can go off and get mated, etc. when they emerge. That is a big, messy process. So I understand why people like to do splits. It's nice and easy. When you're doing grafting or queen rearing, it just adds that extra level of faff to it, which is understandable why people don't want to do it or are a bit intimidated by it. With grafting, what you do is you find a small larvae, the smallest one you can possibly find, maybe like a day or so old, which is like, it's no bigger than 1 millimetre or 2 millimetres. It's tiny, tiny, so you need to be like proper squinting when you're looking for it. You scoop that out very carefully, keeping it in the same orientation, and then put it in one of your plastic cells, which I'll show you in a bit. You have to keep it in the same orientation because larvae only have breathing holes on one side of their body. So if you were to flip them over by accident, you'll drown them in royal jelly, which is not a nice thing to do. But you have to be very careful with it. Any sort of grinding along the edges of the walls can damage the larvae, and the bees won't make a queen out of it. So you have to scoop. You have to pull it away from the walls, slowly lift it up, find where you're going to put it, so one of the plastic cells, place it in very gently, and then push it off. And you can do it relatively quickly once you've got the hang of it. And I'm going to be honest with you, I am not the best at this. I'm not great. I make some really good queens from the queens that I've got here, really good queens, but I'm not very good at grafting. So out of like 20 that I graft, maybe like 10 will survive, unfortunately. But this is one of those things where it just takes practice, and the more you do it, the better you get. So usually my second round of queen rearing, I usually get 20 out of 20, but the first one, it's always dodgy after a full winter and stuff like that of not doing it. I'm going to try my best to show you how I do it, and then we'll get those queen grafts in the queen rearing colony. Other than that, I'm going to try and just go through all the hives and check that they're okay and they're not wanting to swarm. Next week, what I'm going to be doing is building nukes. So if I'm looking at these hives and I'm thinking, they're wanting to swarm or they need more space, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shake them all down into an empty brood box on the bottom and put a queen excluder on. This helps me in two ways. One, it means that they've got another box. Two, they've got a fresh brood box at the bottom, so this is where the queen's going to be stuck. So she's going to be in a place where there's loads of cells, and she's going to be like, whoa, there's so much space here. And it keeps the larvae and stuff like that away from her. Right, so I'm at the quarantine apiary. This is where Hive Laura is the sole survivor of all the chronic bee paralysis virus. This is the best queen I have now. She's gone through all the hardships and she's come out the other end and she's just exploded and done amazing. Laura is the one that I want to make grafts from to produce queens for this year because she's doing incredible, and she's always done incredible. She's the very first queen I got, and her bloodline has always given me the best queens. The past few years I've tried different queens from different places to breed from, but every time the queen just isn't as good as Laura. So I'm going to go with her again. So I'm going to do my grafting later on tonight because I've run out of time and I need to take my kid swimming. First of all, if you're going to do beekeeping, stay away from the entrance, otherwise you'll get bees all over your back. So just move to the side. I'm going to move this down here and I'm going to look for Laura now. I've broken it up quite a bit. I've taken out quite a few bees. Hopefully now I should be able to find her. Or hopefully now she'll still be in here and I'll still be able to find her. If she's swarmed, then I'm scuppered. Smoke them down. This is what I didn't have last week, was smoke. So I got stung. So there's eggs in the drone cells. Queen cup here. If you see 1 or 2 eggs, it does not mean that the queen is there. It could be an old egg that's not been gotten rid of by a worker. So make sure that when you see eggs, you see a lot of eggs. You want to see at least 1 frame. Yes, I brought my torch. Good, I remembered it this time. Haha! I'll have a quick look in the cells, or the battery in this is dying, something rotten. Yeah, so there are definite eggs in here. So Laura is still here. That's good. I may have to make another split with her, just knock her out of swarming, but right now she's still here. She's more than likely going to be in that top box, just because she likes to be as high as she can until she gets pushed down by the nectar flow. So I think we've got quite a good selection of larvae on this frame to take for grafts, so I might pay attention to that. And what I said before, when you're grafting, you want to use larvae that are very young. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shake these off now that I've seen that I can't find her. Again, it doesn't really matter if I find her or not, as long as there's no queen cells, and that's what I want to check now. I want to make sure that I've knocked them out of wanting to swarm by taking away a good amount of the brood and bees. If they're still wanting to swarm, then I'll have to do a split with her. And because I can't find her, what I'll have to do again is take another box off and put it on another floor, knock down all queen cells. And then what I should do there is that I'm splitting the bees up even more, so it should be easier to find the queen that way. Any queen cells that we can see? I think that's drone brood. That's drone. That's drone. So I might have knocked her out of swarming, so that'd be good. I hope so. Do not want to lose this queen. She is too precious to me. You're too precious to me. Oh good, we've got some very young larvae on this frame. Surrounded by eggs as well, so that's good. So hopefully we'll get some good grafts off this one. Queen cup there. Empty, get in. Queen cup here. Empty, woo! Shake you off. Don't see any queen cells, loads of larvae on this one. Yeah, so this bottom box is pretty good for getting some good grafts. I'm not going to do 20 like I usually do, because it was messed up on the first load, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do 10, and if that goes well, then I will do more. So I can see some queen cups in the bottom right corner there. I'm just doing a quick look for the queen. Well, this is the brood that I absolutely adore. This is what Laura makes best. Look at that. That's stunning, isn't it? Right? Both sides, absolutely stunning. Let's have it open you up. Nothing, good. That's what we want. These cells, nothing, nothing. Amazing. No queen cells there. That's great. Okay. Oh, found her. Found Laura, and she's unmarked, so that's why I can't find her very easily. So I'm just going to hold her in, get a mark on her. And then I can go a bit loopy, shaking frames and making sure there's no queen cells anywhere. But I think she's calmed down now. She is an absolute beauty. My God, she's gorgeous. If you want to see what a good queen should look like, this is what she should look like. And there she is. That is Laura. She's absolutely gorgeous. You can't really see her because of the light, annoyingly. But she's absolutely beautiful. Hopefully her offspring will make really, really good queens again this year. I'm really looking forward to seeing what her grafts look like. Amazing. Really happy with Laura. Love her to bits. Best queen I've got. So I'm going to put her here for now. Should be safe. I'm just going to shake these frames off and look for queen cells. Because what we don't want is to lose her. So you are a drone. You're drone. Drone, drone, drone. Perfect. That is honey. And honey. Last one. Honey as well. Perfect. Right, close. Ow! Flip. Oh! One's got me on my ear. Ow! Oh, that's a new one. Ow. Ouchie. Push out the way. Flying bees everywhere, especially when the flow is stopped. Nasty buggers. Ouch. I wonder if my ear will explode. That'd be fun. Smoke these guys down because they're getting grumpy again. I need to change my suit, I think. There's a hole in the veil or something. Yep, so I've knocked these guys out of swarming, I think. Good, I'm glad. Yeah, this is just an empty box that I put on for them to keep them entertained. So there you are. Right, so I'm going to release the queen, Laura. She's got a lovely blue dot now, so hopefully she'll be nice and easy to find. The bottom box has good enough larvae for me to do some grafting with tonight, so that's what I'm going to do. So Laura's gone. There she goes, right there. Right, I'm going to close these guys up because they're getting grumpy again. Oh. But there you are, knocked a swarm response out of them. And yeah, I'll come back for grafting tonight. Right, so it's 8:30 at night now. The bees won't be happy, which is not going to be a good thing for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Laura's hive, go to the bottom box, grab a couple of frames from there, close it up again, and hopefully I can do that quick enough without disturbing any of the bees or getting too many of them upset. I'm going to come back here, got a light rig set up. Well, I'm going to have a light rig set up if I can. And I'm going to do some grafting. Once I've managed to fill the cells inside the cups that I've got, I think I've only got 10, so I'm not doing a lot. I'm going to go back to the queen mating apiary, and I'm going to put that frame of freshly grafted cells into the queen rearing hive. And then it's just a matter of seeing what happens. Right, I'm going to get this zipped up. I'm going to go and hopefully not get attacked by too many bees. Bye. Right, so I don't know if you can see this, but there's no bees flying around at the moment. It is dark. Bees don't like flying in the dark. In fact, they cannot fly in the dark, so they just can't do it. They can fly in a straight line, but they have no idea of where the hell they're flying or anything like that. So most of the response is just to fly up and just hope for the best. Then they'll latch onto something and then they'll just hold on for dear life or sting you. So when you're doing beekeeping at night time, if it's still slightly light, you will get some bees flying about and they will fly back. But this is around the time where everybody is inside the hive. So it's going to be absolutely jam-packed right now. If it's pitch black, then you want to find yourself a red torch, so a red light torch. Bees can't see red light. So what that means is that they cannot see anything that's going on. They can feel stuff that's going on, but they can't see anything, whereas we have the ability to see red light. And you feel like a superhuman because you can lift stuff up and look around and the bees are just like, there's something going on, no idea what it is. What's going on, everybody? You can see exactly what's going on. So it's pretty cool if you do some nighttime beekeeping with a red light. Highly recommend it. But since it's still quite light, I can do the job that I need to do. I need to grab 2 frames with hopeful larvae the right age so I can do some grafting. I only need 10 grafts, so may be able to get away with just 1 frame, but we'll see. If I can get away with 1 frame, I'll go do the graft and I'll come bring it back. But in between, I'm going to make sure that this is closed off. Right, get my hood up. Although it's not been much use to me today. My ear is very sore, as is my cheek. Right, so I'm expecting these bees to be very annoyed. So I've got my smoker. It was lit very strongly a minute ago. I can still see quite a few embers in there. See if I can get them to produce a bit more smoke. I want to be able to flood it with smoke just so I can push them down. I don't want any bees to get harmed today. Right, that'll have to do. Right, so I'm going to pump some smoke at the entrance. There's some bees here already, just trying to investigate what's going on because they can hear me. And they probably felt me take the strap off. Lift this lid. And there's bees milling about. This may get a bit fraught. I don't really want it to. So I'm just going to do a little tap. Bees will be less likely to fall off the box. So before, when I used to bang, they'd fall off quite easily. Now they're in nighttime mode, so they are going to be holding on for dear life with everything. So smoke them down. I don't want these guys flying about. They should be able to get back at this time now. But if it gets any darker, then they won't be able to make it back to the home. So it means that those bees that fly out will get lost and will probably die. So yeah. Oh. So this is where all the brood area is. If I remember rightly, we had some fresh brood around here and around here. So I'm going to try for this frame here. So I'm just going to smoke them. Come on everyone, get down. I don't want anyone lost. I'm not playing silly buggers today, guys. Right. And the queen was over here, so I don't really want to be venturing over there unless I really have to. I don't want to hurt the queen. She's precious. So instead, I'm going to go down here and hope that we can find some good frames of young brood here. Right, so cursory look, see if we can see the queen, which is virtually impossible at this time of night because it's dark. And I'm going to shake these bees off. I'm going to use my torch and hopefully we'll see some brood in here. If not, then we'll have to move on. No, this is nectar, so we're going to have to move forwards. The bees aren't going to like this, so I may get stung again. Speak of the devil. I'd very much like to find some brood ASAP. I don't want to be stung. Smoker is not smoking as well as I'd like it to. So that's why I'm getting battered right now. So I can see the frame that I want. think it's this one here. So I'm going to keep smoking it and hopefully get the bees well away from it as best I can. Could really do with those very thick gloves right now. Again, it's because all the flying bees are back home now. No one's flying about foraging, so all the big, older, grumpy bees are back home right now. So I'm going to lift this up, shake them off as best I can. I'm going to go over here so they don't attack me. They'll attack me as badly. Right, where's my torch? Bingo! Got what we need. Yeah, perfect. So we've got what we needed. I'm going to close these guys up now. In fact, what I'm going to do is, so I don't have to go into that bottom box again, is I'm going to take a frame from this top box and put it in there so it's full. This is going to upset so many bees. Step back. The initial wave of bees. I haven't got a new suit either, so chances are that, yep, I can already find one bee in here already. So yeah, they're finding a way into my hood somehow, so I need to sort that out. I need to find that leak sometime soon. Oh, ow, flip. Ouchie. So, the amount of stings that I've got in my wrist at the moment. This smoke is rubbish. I'm going to have to relight this. Right, because I don't want that brood to get chilled, because it is chilly now, I'm going to just bite the bullet, knock them down. I'm going to lift this up and place it on top. I'm going to try and be as careful as possible. But there's only so much you can do when you're getting stung. Come on, stop attacking me, guys. Come on, give me a break. I'm trying to build your box up. Come here. Right, I'm taking this to the car. Hopefully it'll calm down a bit and I'll light my smoker. Right. Let's see if this works. So these guys are going to be less inclined to listen to the smoke. But as long as I go around the edge, the chances of getting hurt is slim. I've already cleared this edge. This is just this edge and this edge. This is the front of the hive, so this is where the most bees are going to be hanging around. Right, I'm just going to have to deal with it. Hopefully not get stung. Just be very slow, very careful, methodical, and hopefully we won't kill anybody too much. Right, I'm going to put the lid back on to calm these guys down for now. I'm going to go do some grafting and I'll bring that frame back. You guys are naughty. Right, I'm inside my car and this is the light that I'm going to be using to graft. What I've done is I've set up my steering wheel as a way of holding the frame still, and this light gives me really good viewing of all the different cells. So I'm going to try and catch that with my phone, which is the... Unfortunately, this is different to my Volvo, so I've got to learn some new things, and I can't seem to get this to wedge anywhere. Like with the Volvo, I used to be able to tuck it in, it used to wedge itself in place, whereas there's nothing like that in here. So this is a learning thing for me, but we'll figure it out anyway. So it's very warm in here at the moment because I don't want this brood to be chilled. I want to be able to move it from these cells into this other thing here. Hang on, there you go, this thing here with these plastic cups in. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move to my phone camera and we're going to try and find some good larvae, and we're going to go through scooping it up using one of these things. This is a Chinese grafting tool. There's loads of these on the market. This is cheap as old chips. You can usually get like 10 or 12 in one go for like £1. It's worth it because some of them are absolutely crap, some of them are really good. This is one that I used a year or so ago and it's really good, or it was. They can start to depreciate as well, so it can get a bit too rigid and cut larvae in half by accident. So we'll see how this one does. Right, so we're going to scan through these cells and try and find a larvae. So you can see the eggs there. The larvae will have some royal jelly around them. So we found some there. You can see that. So as you can see there's lots of larvae. So if we just zoom in very closely, you can see that they've got a lovely little C shape, and you can see the individual segments as well. Sorry, it's juddery. This is me trying to hold this still with one hand while trying to graft with the other hand. So I'm just going to try and find where it is. So there we go. So I'm having to graft without being able to actually see the thing because I'm doing it using my phone. So just so you know, you have two. So if I zoom out, this Chinese grafting tool, you've got a very thin piece of plastic on the end there, and then you've got a push thing here. And if you look, it pushes this little wedge, so it pushes it off. I find it best when you're going for the larvae to aim for the curve of the C. So if you look at that one, it's curving around there. So I'm going to give this a go. Won't be able to see anything because of my thumbs, because they're all rubbish. So go down the edge of the cell and try and scoop underneath it as best you can. There we go. Oh, nearly. This is very difficult. Okay, so I've nudged that too much. If you damage him too much, the bees won't accept him. So now I've nudged him too much, I don't want to risk it. So another thing you can do is break open the cell a bit. You can try and do it that way. So you can see the C shape is like that. I'm just trying to scoop it this way without my thumb getting in the way. This is very difficult. Right. I think that failed. I think I've just dragged him along the side of the cell. Yeah, he's not there. That's him there, fortunately. Right, I'm going to try and do this. I'm going to try and do this without my camera on my phone because I'm just guffing this up. Right, I've got one. Haha! Brilliant. See there? I've got one right on the tip of the grafting tool. Now, what I'm going to have to do is push that into one of the cells over there. This is where it also can go wrong. Fortunately, this is a little bit easier because there's only one cell. So when you do it, lie it completely flat like that. See that? So now it's completely flat. It's the same orientation as I picked it up, and then that's when I'm starting to push the plunger. And there we go, it's out. So that is one cell grafted. Perfect. Now, what you need to do is, when you've grafted them, just put something over the top of them like that. Just try and keep the moisture in. This is a relatively damp cloth because they need to keep them nice and humid for each one. So hopefully you can see how you can do it. It's very difficult to film and scoop at the same time. I've never really grafted looking through a camera before, so it's a bit daunting for me. Right, I'm going to take that as me doing it right for you guys. I'm just going to do the rest now on my own. Right, I've done all 10 now. I'm going to wrap these up in a tea towel that is slightly damp, and then hopefully that'll keep them safe. So I'm going to wrap them up like that, see? So this should be nice and warm. Any humidity that's in there should stay with them. I'm also going to travel with them facing upwards as well, just because it means that there's more of a chance of them staying still, because sometimes they can fall out, which is a nightmare. Right, so I'm going to go put that frame back in the hive and probably get stung to bits. Yay! So there we have it, a full-on day of beekeeping. It is now pitch black outside, and yeah, I'm going to go home to bed. It's 10 o'clock. What a night. So we managed to graft those cells, only 10, but I just wanted to make sure that I've got my skills in check before I start moving on to doing 30 or something, because there's nothing worse than grafting 30 of them, putting them in, coming back after a few days and realising you've got like 2 that are alright. So I just want to get my eye in before I start doing proper batches. If you enjoyed today's video, then please hit the like button. If you've really enjoyed it, then hit subscribe button. Maybe look through what I've been doing for the past few weeks and see how I've got to this stage. That'd be good. There's also fact checks and all sorts. There's stuff for everybody, so go and have a nosy, see what I've got. Thank you so much for watching these videos. It means the absolute world to me. If you have any questions whatsoever about anything you've seen today, any critiques, which I'm guessing there's going to be a few, any advice, anything at all, please send them my way. Every day's a learning day when it comes to beekeeping. I have a certain amount of experience, I've experimented and stuff like that, but there's other people out there that have had other experiences. Maybe you've just been doing it for a year, but you've seen something I've done and you've already figured out a better way of doing it. Let me know. The whole point of beekeeping is that there are thousands of different ways of doing a single thing. It's down to you to find what works best for you. So checkerboarding, that works best for me, but some people just prefer to demarrer. You've got people who like to do splits, some people who like to graft the queens. There's loads of different methods of doing absolutely anything. Just because I'm doing it doesn't mean it's right. Just because some other person's doing something doesn't mean that that's right. There's loads of experts online. I'm just a numpty that's been doing this for a few years and made a business out of it. That's it. I'm not saying I'm an expert at all. Thank you again, and I really hope I get to see you guys next week. Have a good day. Bye-bye.